The vacuum triode amplifier, VTA, invented by Floyd Sweet, consists of 2 ferrite magnets and 2 to 4 coreless wire coils. It is self-powered in the preferred configuration and produces in excess of 1 kilowatt of 120 vrms 60 Hz power in the form of energy that resembles electricity. This energy is referred to as negative energy. The VTA development history, its anti-gravity characteristics, negative energy properties, and some of the personalities involved are discussed. This is a story of Floyd Sweet's trials and tribulations involving a mystery wrapped in an enigma. God revealed to Floyd sufficient information to build a machine to provide energy that resembles electricity. However, God did not provide solutions to the frustrating string of problems that would surface in converting the idea into a working device. There are several people in this story that have provided help and some who have hindered. When Tom Bearden met Floyd, the device Floyd had developed was producing a few watts of alternating current at 28 volts. Tom saw in Floyd's device the physical embodiment of a principle he had theorized many years before. Tom had never designed or constructed a physical device to access this elusive energy source. Tom's name for the extraction process is 4-wave phase conjugate mixing. The energy source is the intense non-coherent energy that is thought to be present everywhere in the universe. Various researchers through the years have given this energy different names, such as zero-point energy, gravity field energy, radiant energy, and others. Tom Bearden gave Floyd's device the name vacuum triode amplifier or VTA. The machine provides a small amount of its output fed back to the equivalent of a grid which gates or coheres a large amount of energy which appears at the device output terminal as something that resembles electricity. Negative electricity. This energy can be utilized by devices designed to convert electricity to light, heat, or mechanical work or anything else for which normal electricity is used. The properties of this energy, although superficially resembling the 120 vrms 60 Hz power we normally use, are unique and sufficiently different from conventional electricity, so that it should be classified as an entirely new energy form. It will require careful extended study by a wide range of people in order to document its properties in the manner scientists have done with conventional electricity. Tom Bearden refers to this energy as negative energy, and he states that negative time must be utilized. In negative time, according to Bearden, gravity is a repulsive force. Floyd's experiments demonstrated that the VTA loses weight in proportion to the amount of generated negative energy. This was carefully documented by Floyd on a kitchen scale. The machine weight was observed decreasing with increased load in a quite orderly fashion until a point was suddenly reached when Floyd heard an immense sound, as if he were at the center of a giant whirlwind but without actual air movement. The sound was heard by his wife Rose in another room of their apartment and was heard by others outside the apartment. The experience was very frightening and the experiment has not been repeated. Some observers of the light emanating from ordinary 120-volt 100-watt incandescent bulbs powered by the VTA claim the light is different, softer, than normal incandescent light. The VTA magnets and coils when powering loads of over a kilowatt become cold and temperatures of 20 degrees Fahrenheit below ambient have been observed. Similar reports of below ambient temperature of energy machine components have been reported by other inventors, such as John Bedini and John Wright Reverend. Searle. When the VTA output wires had been accidentally shortened, first an extremely brilliant flash occurred. When the wires involved were examined shortly afterward, they were found covered with frost. Unfortunately, this also caused the VTA magnet to fracture and the machine ceased operating. In one instance, the machine operation ceased during a local earthquake. The physical shacking was not believed to be sufficiently severe to disrupt the machine magnet/coil relative placement or physical shock to the magnet such as a hammer blow might impart. The best speculation is that the machine was affected by the intense electromagnetic pulse known to originate from earthquakes. Conventional instruments used to measure volts, amps, or watts appear to correlate machine output as coupled to loads, but only up to approximately 1 kilowatt. Above that value they may indicate 0 or some other value not related to the known actual load. Floyd's attempts to use conventional electrical design formulas relating number of coil turns, amp turns on drive coils, and any other parameter to predict observed outputs have all resulted in failures with calculations. Empirical formulas based on actual tests have been documented. Observation of machine output voltage of approximately 120 vrms while the load was changed in 100 watt increments from 100 watts to 1000 watts has shown no observable output voltage change, which suggests an extremely low internal equivalent impedance. The 20-gauge magnet wire in the output coils consisting of several hundred turns has significant DC resistance which is not correlated with the unvarying output terminal voltage at different loads. It is speculated that this energy does not travel within the copper wire or its passage through the copper wire does not generate a voltage drop, a most useful feature when transferring energy from one place to another. One frustrating aspect of the VTA has been its failures, evidenced by the output voltage slowly decaying to zero over a few seconds or minutes. There also has been spontaneous instances of the voltage rising above 120 vrms as observed by the increased lamp load bank brightness. The voltmeters, ammeter, and power meter did not correlate with the brightness change except when the machine would fail to produce any power. Many times the VTA was normally left on powering a lamp load bank 24 hours a day. During a period of time when it appeared to be functioning properly all day long, Floyd got up at 3:00 a.m. to go to the bathroom. As he walked past the room where the VTA was located, he noticed that the lights appeared dim. He measured the voltage at 70 vrms. Being tired at the moment, he returned to bed. The next morning when he rose, the voltage was back to the normal 120 vrms and stayed there all day. The next night Floyd got up at 4:30 a.m. The voltage was measured at 85 vrms. Floyd returned to bed. The voltage was normal the entire next day. A possible clue to this anomaly has appeared in an article by E.W. Silvertooth titled Motion Through the Ether, where Silvertooth describes a dual-path laser interferometer experiment that conclusively demonstrated the presence of an ether that flows through our portion of the universe at greater than the speed of light with its vector in the direction of the constellation Leo. Floyd's VTA may be orientation sensitive to this ether velocity vector. The VTA consists of two 4x6x.5 grade 5 or grade 8 ferrite magnets spaced 3 inches apart in the attractive orientation, with the output and drive coils in between. The output coils are wound with 20-gauge magnet wire. Their axis is parallel to the magnetic lines of force between the two magnets. The two drive, or excitation, coil axes are positioned at 90 degrees to the output coil axis. The VTA excitation coils may be driven by the VTA output voltage or a separate sine wave oscillator source. The secret to the machine is the process that conditions the magnets. This conditioning process determines the output frequency and also prepares the machine for operation. The same machine could be just as well told to output 50 Hz or 400 Hz. The conditioning technique is so novel, it is doubtful anyone would ever guess how it is done. Oscilloscope observation of the VTA output voltage waveform shows an apparently perfect sine wave that is not phase-locked to the local 60 Hz power line voltage. The VTA can be started by momentary connection of a 9-volt battery to the drive coils when the machine is operated in the self-powered mode. The operation is stopped by momentary interruption of power to the power coils. The VTA likes to always see a minimum load of 25 watts. Electrical shock to humans from the VTA may be more damaging than contact with a 120 vrms 60 Hz conventional power line voltage. Floyd has accidentally had VTA current pass from his thumb to his smallest finger. It appears to freeze the flesh and was extremely painful for at least 2 weeks. The mechanism by which negative energy makes copper conductors cold but will also heat light bulb filaments is not understood. Tom Bearden has coined the term gravitostiction for this process and has described how he believes it works. On the human side of the VTA development, some incidents are worth telling. 2 people from Australia, who claimed they wanted to help Floyd, stole his notebook and promptly asked John Bedini for help in replicating the VTA based on the notebook contents. John recognized the notebook as belonging to Floyd and promptly asked them to leave. However, the notebook was never recovered. Floyd has received many death threats over the phone, and some threats face to face. A well-dressed gentleman in an expensive suit, tie, hat, and $100 shoes approached Floyd on the sidewalk of the street where he lives and introduced himself as Cecil Brown. He showed him a picture of Floyd inside his apartment. Cecil then told him that he represented a conglomerate that did not want Floyd's device to appear in the world at this time. He further stated that sometimes unfortunate things happen to people who do not comply with the wishes of others. He then retrieved the picture and departed. Incidences like this do impart significant concern in Floyd's mind. One real unsung hero of the human side of this story is Al Margolin, who for many years has provided test equipment, fabrication help, and transportation for Floyd and Rose whenever needed, and it was needed many times. Floyd's longtime friend and former employer Bill Laurie has provided living and project expenses and fabrication help when needed. The reliable conditioning of the magnets in a manner that assures long-time operation is the Achilles heel of this device. With the help of enough of the right people, this device may change our world and open a new field of physics. This adventure, of course, is an ongoing, and the final goal of powering the world with the VTA is still a long ways off,